And it gives me the, the pride and the comfort to know that if I ever go missing or am killed in action, that the United States will go to every extent possible to account for my remains.
But in your military service so far, you haven't had to see any action, have you?
No, I mean, we go through, I've been out on missions. The last command I was with, the Special Operations Unit, we did a lot of fascinating things with the Navy SEALs out on submarines,
Right.
Deep diving missions, these humanitarian missions into the jungle. I've learned how to shoot, 9mm, an M16. But no, as a medical physician, and this is what I tell folks when I go out and I'm acting upon direction by the Surgeon General. You're a medical professional. Why on earth would we put you in harm's way? That's not what you're trained to do.
Well, what is the Navy's role in the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War?
Well, it all depends. The Navy is so many capabilities. As a naval officer, as a doctor, my role is to care for the sick, care for the injured.
You could be deployed to the Persian Gulf, right?
I could be, but your role over there is to provide secondary care, to train the corpsmen who are out there on the front lines. And if you guys ever come across a Navy corpsman, which is the equivalent of like an Army medic, give him a pat on the back, give him a big kiss, because those are the true heroes. Those are the guys that I train, that I supervise, that are out there on the front lines.
In your public relations role, which is sort of the hat you wear now, how have the two wars changed the Navy and changed the Navy's ability to recruit?
Well, it's definitely had an impact on recruiting. And
is it a harder sell for you?
It is. Well, once people have the knowledge and the understanding of the opportunities that are available in Navy medicine, then it's not a tough sell. But it's the mass media that really doesn't translate what we do as Navy physicians effectively, especially now, since in post-tsunami in 2004, with the degree of disaster relief and humanitarian aid missions that we're doing, and the importance of medical diplomacy.
Right.
And once you talk to them about that, and I tell them how I grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania without much money, and was able to get educated at Duke, go to medical school in San Francisco, have these experiences that I've had, be debt-free, and to say proudly that I wear this uniform as a Navy physician. People, when I get up there, someone of credibility, can show them that path and that way, just like someone was there for me when I was a midshipman at Duke, and showed me that way.
I mean, I'm sure that's, the appeal of that's undeniable, but I wonder if you hear from people, I like your message, but I don't like this war and I don't want to be in the military right now, and how you deal with that.
Sure, and that's totally understandable. Military is for some people. When I go out and speak, I like to speak in an overarching message of service. And to some people, service in the military is the way that you accomplish that. But what I notice about the millennials in this generation is the affinity for service. They want to be part of something bigger. They want to be active in their communities, and that's so wonderful to see, because more and more you see it's me generation. And if you can frame it, like my father back there always told me, he said, always ask how you can help others, Andy.
Right.
And going into a profession where you're of service to humanity as a physician, going a step further, being of service of country. And I understand that, political views or maybe views on the war might be commensurate with what others are thinking. But I really believe the future of our country depends on us looking beyond ourselves, looking at the have-nots, or those who you can be a mentor to and help in order to bring our country together.
Do you think there should be a draft?
I don't think there should be a draft unless we really need it. you know,
So
currently.
your recruiting is going well then?
Recruiting is going great. We just met our goal for the first time in 5 years, and I like to think that I had something to do with that.
Okay.
As far as from a medical officer standpoint.
Do you like this role, the public relations role, or would you
I
rather?
really do, Carol. I do.
But
I was just talking to my boss earlier today, and I said, Captain Miller, thank you for being such a wonderful boss. Thanks for being such a believer in me. It gives me great pleasure to go out and speak each week to hundreds of students. And when I'm not speaking to students, I can go to elementary schools.
Right.
I can go to speak to Navy leagues, Rotary clubs, tell them what we're doing on our POW MIA missions. Tell them, and they don't, you know, these kids don't know that.
Do you still get to practice medicine though?
I do.
How?
I see, when I'm here in town, I see patients down at the Washington Navy Yard.
Yeah, and what kind of patient? I mean, is it?
It's
do you have a specialty, or are you?
My specialty is in diving medicine, and also in radiation health. So, submarine workers that need to have their radiation health physicals completed, folks at the Naval Academy who want to go and become a Navy SEAL or to become a Navy diver. There's few of us out there that wear this pin and can give their John Hancock to certify someone off. And so hyperbaric medicine, undersea medicine, very niche specialty within the military, but also with a lot of effectiveness for common ailments such as diabetes, such as carbon monoxide poisoning.
So you're a practicing doctor and a practicing public relations person, sort of.
I'm not a public.
You're wearing many hats.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Did I tell you I like your necklace?
Thank you. Yes, you did. You're very good. You're very good, Andy. And you're also constantly staying in shape for triathlons, right?
I am. I competed in quite a few triathlons this year. Not the Ironman, which I've done quite a few times in the past.
It's fascinating
but
to me.
I have the Marine Corps Marathon coming up this weekend. Who's going to come out and watch that?
Yeah, but Andy, how long will your run take you this weekend? How many hours?
I don't like to put a time on it.
Well, I mean, is it under 3 hours? No, I'm not trying to.
It's freezing out there. Have you been outside?
No, what
I'm coming from Hawaii.
Well, wait.
This is nuts. My knees hurt.
But I have a point here. When you do the Ironman in Hawaii, the king of all Ironmans, which is in Hawaii, you go what? How many hours?
Well, the Ironman, it's 2.4 mile swim.
Right, in an ocean.
112 mile bike in the hot lava fields of the Big Island.
And an up and down road.
Up and down, yes.
So by then you're already going how many hours? By then you're already
in about
hours,
7 hours in.
7 hours of non-stop physical activity.
And then you have to come in off of that bike and say, all right, I have to run a marathon.
Of how many miles?
And talk about it, 26.2 miles.
So is it
you
a
up for it?
10-hour day?
I think you can do it.
I'll tell you the part I liked, and I want you to explain how you did this. I like the part where you took the gummy bear break. Now, what is that about?
Good. She's done her research.
I love gummy bears, but you've just been...
Well, it's the little things, Carol. It's the little things.
But you've just been swimming, biking. I love them. You've just been. But you've been swimming, biking, and you're running. You're in the middle of your run. So you've been going for about 10 hours. How can you eat gummy bears?
See, it's the little things, and halfway through the bike and the run, they have this thing they call the special needs bag.
I love
why
that.
They call it the special needs bag, but you can
imagine.
put anything you want in the special needs bag, and so, that's why I'm going into like mile, 15 of this run, and I'm going delirious, and I'm like, how am I going to make it to the finish line? All you can think about is, I cannot wait to get to the special needs bag and get my gummy bears. And I get there, and it's like, I can keep going. All right.
Haribo should become one of your sponsors.
Haribo is great. They're great.
They are great.
They're out in full force when I was at the Tour de France.
I love it.